So there's about 20 people in this room right now, or 28 people in this room right now, not counting Miss Williams. So I just figured I'd start off by telling all of you that at least 8 or 9 of us are going to be obese when we get older. And half of us are already on that fast track to obesity, because we all have one thing in common. We all eat fast food, or at least most of us do. In America, 4% of children under the age of 10 are now obese, and this rate will grow by 2% by the time these kids turn 15. It's an epidemic, obesity, and it's serious. So being that we live in America, before we can figure out how to fix it, we have to figure out who there is to blame. And a lot of people like to blame the fast food industry. I mean, who else could it be? But would you believe me if I told you that it was you? Not you personally, but the American people as a whole. You see, it's not the chicken nuggets and the Big Macs and the Whoppers, and insert some random fast food here, that is making people obese. It's the lack of self-control and the presence of, I gotta have it fast and I gotta have it now, that plays a large role in obesity. We live in America, the land of the free. Nobody dictates to us what we do, especially what we eat. It's a choice. We all, as individuals, choose for ourselves what kind of lifestyle choices we're going to make, and that includes what we eat. But a lot of people will claim that they were unaware of the kinds of unhealthy things that are being put into the foods at places like McDonald's. But, and that is true, because most of us do find ourselves blindsided, but if we are blindsided, it's not because the information isn't there. We live in the year of 2014, and we have a lot more access to information that those before us didn't. And many fast food industries have started putting out what they put into their foods. If people are blindsided, it's because they don't do the research. Also, to take a more factual turn with all of this, many people think that obesity stems from the things that are the foods at places like McDonald's. But a lot of it comes from places, or from the foods that we eat elsewhere. The entire Western diet in general isn't that good for us. There's fried foods, sugary foods, salty foods. All of that poses a threat for weight gain. And it also has a lot to do with portion control. There was a study that was done comparing European dinner plates and Asian dinner plates. And when compared to ours, we have like 10 ounces more food on ours than they do. So that plays a large role as well. And a lot of people in America are obese because of genetics. Ironically, for whatever reason, the University of London was doing a study on 500 American obese people, and one thing that they found in common with all of them is that they all had the same mutated gene, the MRAP2 gene, and this is a gene that controls each person's ability to break down fat. So if this is mutated, it's not going to work. So when you eat, you're going to put on weight, and we eat every day, so eventually you're going to get obese. And also, believe it or not, American jobs also play a large role in this as well. Today, in 2014, there's 83% more sedentary, aka desk jobs, than there were in the year of 1950, which decreases the amount of physical activity, increases the amount of leisure and sitting, and also increases weight gain. So when you consider all these factors, you tend to realize that fast food is just one small contributor in a big melting pot of things that add to obesity. And let's also remember that even though the fast food industry does bring in billions of dollars every year, they're a cheap business. They don't care about what their food could potentially do to you. It's our responsibility to assume the risk and respond accordingly. Now I'm going to tell you all a story about myself. So when I was in about the 4th grade, I have 2 working parents, and they both got off of work late. And so, like most parents that work all day and have kids, by the time dinner time rolled around, they were really tired. So the fastest thing to do is take me somewhere to eat that can give me food quickly. And I'm not that big of a fan of McDonald's, but I really like Wendy's a lot. And so my favorite thing on the menu is the spicy chicken sandwich. Even now, I just don't eat it as much. But anyways, because my parents were busy, my dad was taking me to Wendy's to get a spicy chicken sandwich every single day, Monday through Friday. And then I would eat that in addition to my dinner at home, if they happen to make one. And that went on for about 3 months until my parents' schedule changed and they could start cooking again. So now, and also I gained a ton of weight, unbeknownst to myself at the time, because I thought it was cute. And so now, not only is it embarrassing to look back on the pictures because they're old and you want to like burn them all, it's also embarrassing because I'm chunky in all the pictures, and I look at it and I'm like, what is it that made me like, fat and gain weight? And so then I realized that it was the spicy chicken sandwiches, because they grew legs and arms and little eyes, and they would walk to my doorstep every day, sit there with a sign that said, "Eat me," and make sure that they tasted really good so that I would keep doing it over and over again. That sounds stupid, doesn't it? We all know that the real reason why I was eating like that is because I didn't have any self-control. I mean, really what 9-year-olds do. But also it was because of my parents' inability to set boundaries at that time. You see, it's such a simple concept, but people really fail to grasp it. If it was really the fast food industry that was making us obese, then wouldn't everybody be obese? Because we all at one time or another have eaten fast food. And then it wouldn't be an epidemic anymore, because it would be the norm. We are the root of the problem. So then what can be done? Well, for parents, which none of us are, but for parents, a good tip is to plan ahead of time. There's a statistic that shows that 52% of families that plan their meals ahead of time not only experience less midweek stress, but they also raise healthier families. And now for us it's different, because we're all older and we can decide what we want to eat. We're all capable of that. So just like how we've grown up and assumed some new responsibilities like driving, having jobs, doing things that are going to prepare us for the real world, we should assume our responsibilities to our well-being and our bodies, and really think twice about what we choose to feed ourselves. And if none of that works for you, then just say no. Because, I mean, when you really think about, like, being fat, I feel like that's scary enough. And then also, there's plenty of alternatives that you could find to fast food that are equally tasty, but a lot better for you. So, bottom line, what I'm saying is that we can't blame the fast food industry for the growing obesity epidemic. And if it comforts you to do so, then by all means, go ahead, whatever helps you sleep at night. But then who are you going to blame for the other growing epidemic? A large growth in the rate of lazy Americans with a lack of self-control. And that's definitely got to be somebody else's fault too, right?